Spencer Lewis for InsideTrackNews.com. Post-race at Delaware Speedway after the Canada Day 100, round 2 of the APC Six Pack Series, and Shawn Chenoweth. You and I have spoke ad nauseum coming into the series about how good this was going to be for Delaware and Flamboro alike. I mean, the first race at Flamboro drew rave reviews about how good it was. They come out here and do the exact same thing at Delaware. This was one of the best pro late model races I've ever seen tonight.
Oh yeah, we definitely, tonight was just as good a show at Flamboro. A few guys got tore up, just circumstance. It's too bad to see that, but other than that, the racing was awesome here.
Yeah, you had a third place finish, and I mean, you had to battle your way to that third place finish. You had to work for it. This car, I don't think this afternoon was where you needed it to be. A ton of work went into it for that 100-lap feature event.
This afternoon we were ready to bury our head in the sand. It wasn't going right. We had shocks out, springs out. Actually broke a shock in practice in the rear. Just nothing was going right, and I just went back to that Flamboro setup and jammed some rubbers at her, and away she went. It
just seems as though there are a lot of guys at Delaware that sort of use that patiently aggressive style that you're known for. I mean, you're an aggressive driver, but you turn it on when you need to. And you got guys like Matt Pritico and Jesse Kennedy, even Sean Thompson, the 72 car, that all do the same thing, which is what made it so interesting in that battle in the top 5 with about 20 laps to go.
Oh yeah, we in my car we turned it up about lap 70. We really got after it. I think if we wouldn't have had the last restart, we had a pretty good shot at the 72, but I mean, that's just, hopefully maybe next time we can get there. On the last restart, according to my spotter, I was clear, but I didn't want to turn down and cause a wreck at not my home track. On my home track, I would have just drove her to the bottom.
That really, I mean, at Delaware, you never want to brand a track as a one-groove racetrack, and I don't think Delaware's all the way there yet, but the bottom certainly seems to be the quicker way around.
It is and it isn't. In these cars, the outside didn't seem that great, but in the super stock car last week and what we're going to run tomorrow night, the outside, I made every pass I made last Friday night on the outside, so I wouldn't brand it as a one-lane track. I think this car we're using nowadays is more of it leads itself to a one-lane car. Like, to get all the speed out of them, you're diamonding the track and you're using every inch you can.
Does tire compound sort of play an issue there, where if we maybe had you on a different style of rubber, different compound of tire, that you might be able to make the outside work here?
I think the best tire we've had to date would have been the 10-inch American Racer for that kind of racing with the different compound side to side. Was saying that though, we needed to do something and get a tire rule in place. We might have went too soft with these tires, and that's no one's fault. It's all new to everyone, and we'll have to learn it and figure out what's going from there.
Now let's fast forward and look tomorrow, June 28th, Flamboro Speedway, round 2 of the Superstock Six Pack Series. Delaware Speedway. I mean, that Superstock race at Delaware, and it's going to sound silly for me to say that was one of the best Superstock races I've ever seen. Like that was a hell of a show. We're going to get 12, 13, 14 Delaware guys coming down to Flamboro, and I mean, yourself, Steve Perry, Kevin Gallant have all said that they're probably going to get a bit of a rude awakening coming into the Flamboro driver's backyard, because that is not an easy speedway to get around if you've never been there before.
I think that works both ways. We all showed up here and we all struggled. This isn't easy to get around, but if you ran here weekly, I'm sure you find the fast way around, just like we do at Flamboro. But yeah, I think coming in, there's a few cars here that are going to be really struggling to really hit it, but I'm sure there'll be 2 or 3 that really hit it, so let's see how it works out. Now,
I know when you built, when you and your father sort of came together and built this brand new Thunder car for 2014, I get the Six Pack Series was really part of the reason why you wanted to be involved in this class again. And it's sort of worked out exactly the way you were hoping it to. Were you surprised at the level of competition here when you came out and racing against the Delaware Superstocks?
Not at all. I mean, there's guys here with top-notch equipment, just like anywhere you go. You go to Sunset, you got guys with top-notch equipment. The equipment throughout the province in every division just keeps getting better and better. So there's no house you're going to walk into and just drive away from anybody anymore.
Now, you had a real good showing in round 1 of the Superstock Series here at Delaware. That sets you up to really take control of the point if you can come out and have a good run, have a solid finish, and finish on the podium tomorrow in your backyard.
Oh, we're definitely going to turn it up tomorrow night at Flamboro. That car is working really good there, and I guess they just have to come and try to beat it if they're going to win.
I know it's not possible with a whole lot of sponsorship support. Go ahead and thank the folks that make this possible.
Well, I got to thank London Rec, obviously. They helped me out a ton. Castrol Edge, KR Communications, Gray Bar, Bennett GM, Transaxle Parts, Interkit Plumbing and Heating, Wilson's Ponds, Hitman Hot Rods, MRE, and ProWraps do an awesome job making these things look awesome. Gray Bar Canada, everyone involved has just made this program that much bigger. And yes, I read that off the wall.
Now, you used to be able to do that off the top of your head. I think in your old age, You know, memory's the first thing to go.
In this hot weather, it's the fattyism, right? Like if it's the Humidex of 30, right now I got the FatX of 45, so my mind just goes fucked, and it just doesn't work out.
Now I know you have Twitter. Are you posting on Twitter yet, or have we got you there yet?
I'm not that technical, Spencer. I
We're
gotta
gonna
figure
work
that
on
out.
it.
When Twitter's the old thing, and there's something new out, I will be on Twitter like you wouldn't believe.
Because right now you're all about rotary phones.
Oh yeah, I do the dial-up big
We're
time.
going to work on it. That's a winter project. Shawn, all the best tomorrow night in Superstock action. Congrats on the top 3 here at Delaware. And I would think, if I know this 89 team like I think I do, you'll have an even better piece here for round 4 of the tour when you're back here in July.
Yeah, we'll try.
All right, man. Have a great night. Have a good weekend, and we'll check back in with you next week.